Hi everyone, it's Debbie, the shrink on your couch. I want to speak to you a little about an article that I'm going to be publishing this week, which was actually inspired by something that happened in my life last week. You know, what I find is that as I go through my days and my weeks, I'll have experiences that I'll then apply my psychological mind to. And I'll think about as a psychologist, as a therapist, and I'll contextualize these things in that framework. And then I think it's sometimes useful to share that. But basically, I let myself down. I made a mistake. I didn't even realize until several days afterwards that I'd even made a mistake. But basically, I had a flurry of SMS and WhatsApp communication on a particular day. And, as we do, I've got my phone in my hand and I'm quickly looking at messages, and something happened and I did not respond to somebody who was really needing a response. It wasn't just a, hey, how are you message. It was something a lot more serious than that. And I completely disregarded it. And I felt horrible. And when it came to the fore that I'd done that, it was actually only days later when I realized that I'd left this person unattended to. I felt really, really horrible. I felt gnawing guilt. It upset me dramatically. That horrible unease stayed with me for most of the day. I did whatever I could to make reparations. I reached out to that person. I apologized, but it didn't change the fact that I felt pretty bad about it. And then I thought about a lecture that I'd attended recently, which reframed this in my mind. The lecturer said that often the negative things that we feel indicate to us, indicate to us a more positive meaning. So, for example, we feel grief in direct proportion to how strongly we loved. So in that way, grief, awful and painful as it is an indication of the extent of love and loss. Similarly, jealousy, which is traditionally, typically quite a negative emotion, shows that we're really attached to something, that we're really not wanting to lose something. And in the framework of my week, this guilt showed me that my values are actually in the right place because I value true connection with people and real care of people, and not paying lip service to the things that I try and profess, but that I try and live the values that I hold dear. And so in not responding to somebody, I'd let myself down, and the guilt is directly proportional to the extent to which it's not who I am, nor what I choose in my life. And I cannot just shrug it off and say, oh, well, we all make mistakes, it's okay. I was also aware, though, that maybe we all carry these, what psychologists would call narcissistic fantasies, where we put ourselves on a bit of a pedestal. Like maybe it wasn't such a big deal that this particular message went unanswered. Maybe I was creating a context in my mind where it was bigger for that person than what it actually was. And that then speaks to a bit of a rescuing mentality or a savior complex, which obviously in life we want to be aware of and challenge, but not encourage. And so, I wrote all of this up for you, and it's a little bit of a vulnerable thing for me because I am letting you into my own world and my own thought processes at times. But the main takeaway was just that the truth is that sometimes when we're having what we would construe as a negative emotion, guilt, anger, hurt, jealousy, grief, that we can actually mine that emotion for meaning and find that what that negative feeling is representing is a value that is actually really intact and really useful and really quite in service of our higher selves and what we're trying to achieve in effective living. So have a read when I post it, and I hope it's of use and interest to you. I welcome your commentary. Thank you.